All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It's episode 15 of New York Football Talks, man. Episode 15. It's kind of a little crazy, actually. But I saw that. I was like, oh, 15? That's a pretty decent number, man.
15 already, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And honestly, it's a little higher than 15 because we did a couple of like specials, but we can't, count that to the actual number, let's say.
And there's probably gonna be some more, honestly. It's probably gonna be some more.
So welcome, man. Of course, I'm not here alone. Could not, Monty. I'm gonna ban you
right off the bat.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I went to bed and the score was 40-25. I smoked my cigar. I said, "Yeah." What was that song? The Get Back song was playing. I woke up. Actually, I don't know if Lyle's in the chat yet, but I woke up and I saw Lyle's message. No, his story. It was saying something like, "Oh, the Ravens just can't beat the Bills." And I was like, "Oh, he gotta be trolling. This gotta be a troll." And then it was funny because, like, I don't know if you guys use Google for your scores. So, like, Google will have your score when you go back to the webpage. And then I refreshed it. And it went from 40-25 to like 41-40. Like,
I'm like, what?
I was like,
what?
I didn't even look at the highlights yet. I can't bear to look at the highlights. Anyway, this is not about my my Lamar Jackson failing again. This is about New York football. And of course, I'm here with Jared. Jared, what's the word, man? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, great weekend. And honestly, like, good non-league games. I'm just so pumped that they all count now. Like we're at that stage, man. It's gonna be great. And the matchups that we're so excited to see, they're finally about to happen. So I'm pumped.
E, what's the word? How you feeling, man?
I can't complain, like Jared just said, no more week -0, no more week 0. Now it's time for the real deal, Yeah, can't be more excited for what's to come.
Absolutely. Salute to my guy Dre in the chat. Nice to see you, my guy. Good win for the Sharks. We will speak about that.
Big time.
So, of course, just like the guys mentioned, this week is the first Sage Standout game of the week. It's going to pit the defending champions, Curtis Warriors, 2-0, up against Abraham Lincoln. This is going to be sponsored by Curtis High School. So shout out to everybody over there who decided to support. I see Lincoln is in here early. What's the word? How we feeling, y'all?
He had a good game too.
Yeah, we'll get to that, especially once we start previewing the game, which is going to be the last thing we do. But the first thing we're going to do is, of course, just as always, just to remind you guys of the Sage Standout Student Section Scholarship. Curtis, you're up first, so you guys got to make sure you really come out of the block strong. Really want to see you guys display some school spirit. And again, remember that asterisk at the end. Teams with multiple games are judged on their first game of the week only. So, of course, Curtis is also going to host Tottenville for a Sage Standout Game of the Week. This is the only game that is going to go into consideration. So, hopefully, you guys have so much fun acting up at this game that, you continue to do it for all the games, even though the money's not on the line. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my guy GG in the chat with the $5 super chat. Love that, my guy. GG is also selling some apparel. Tap into GG for sure. Appreciate you, my boy. I got mine. You know what I'm saying? I got mine, so you gotta go get yours.
Get your wristband, game day drip. Yup. Should support our guy GG, man. It's only right.
Absolutely. So let's get into a quick announcement, because of course I have been telling you guys to become a YouTube member. It's $7 a month. you might be thinking, okay, what do I get with it? Okay, it's cool that I can support Curtis and, use my custom emoji like I'm going to show right now. Right? Like, yeah, it's cool that I can support Curtis, of course. We're going to have the linking up there right afterwards. So, like I said, for every single game, especially the games of the week, we will have, whoever's playing. As I get more members, is going to open up more slots. So hopefully I'll get enough members where I won't have to chop and change. I think I only get 6 right now or something like that. So I've been telling you guys to become members. And of course, you see that first one, becoming a member to get access to member-only broadcasts. This is where the rubber hits the road. There will be games that you can only watch live and games that you can only watch on a replay if you're a member. Like I said, we're going to try to get at least 3 games a month with this. So if you think about it, $7, 3 games, 4 games, get the emojis. Not so bad. So to announce the first member-only game, we are going to take a trip to the Floss.
Yeah.
Versus South Shore.
Uh-oh.
Wow. That's a good one.
Uh-oh. That is a goodie right here.
It couldn't. I'm so happy it worked out this way. It was up. It was really between Curtis and the Curtis Lincoln game and this game for a game of the week. And, it just works out perfectly that this is the first member only game. So like I said, in the chat, I'm actually going to post this again in the chat, the link that you guys can use to become members. So definitely tap into that. Monty's saying, like, once he sees a Midwood logo, he'll sub. Monty, I want your $7. So I'm gonna make that happen because I want your $7. So definitely make sure you become a member. I think we were able to get about, I think 3 or 4 members last week. So it was pretty awesome. So yo, that's funny. Stream E. Monty is back. Monty's already in mid-season 4, man.
Man.
Monty didn't even need any freaking non-league games. Like, he's
Stream
good to go.
East.
That is so funny. Sage Stream East Solutions. Yeah. You guys got jokes in the chat. Y'all trying to get me canceled, bro? Y'all gotta have me wrapped up in a Rico, whatever they got going on over there. I just trying to make my little $7. Yo, so real quick, Jared, your thoughts on this one, man?
I'm really excited. I mean, I was actually like, a little bit bummed that I wasn't able to go to it, but now I get to watch a replay, so I'm actually super pumped. But no, it's a good matchup. Last year we didn't get South Shore Tottenville, so now the fact that we do, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And the Vikings, they're gonna be on a mission, man. After what happened against Monsignor Farrell, you got to think they're gonna be really motivated and they're gonna come out hot. And of course, you're going against one of the best teams in the city. There's no better way to prove yourself, right? So, and Tottenville's always must-see TV with the athletes they have, and now they're going to the Floss. It's going to be great.
Your thoughts?
I just feel like it's a great test for South Shore out the gate. I wish South Shore would have got some work this past weekend because I felt like they needed some work, some fine tuning, to stay sharp. But yeah, I feel like they got a big test out the gate. Like Jared just said, it's always exciting to see Tottenville and these athletes that they have. I'm really looking forward to see what type of energy South Shore comes out the gate with, because that wasn't the South Shore we know of against Farrell. So let's see what type of energy they come out with against a Tottenville opponent. So can't wait to see this. Yep.
Yeah. And G, if you're talking, I'm not just clarify what you mean. If you're talking about 7 on Tottenville, which is Omar Melendez Jr.
Inside front 7 will be a factor.
Yeah, let me know if you're talking specifically about number 7 or if you just mean the front 7 for
front 7. I think he's talking about
team.
the trenches. Yeah,
trenches.
Yeah. No, the trenches are. Yeah, if you talk about that, the trenches are going to be so important. Tottenville. Like I was just saying, with Omar Melendez, with Nick Acosta, they're kind of the generals in the middle, those middle linebackers there. And to be honest with you, South Shore has so much to prove.
Yes.
I gave them a mulligan, so the South Shore Farrell game didn't happen to me. It was a mirage.
Forget about it. Just forget about it. Yeah.
So you have everything to prove here. So yeah, I'm seeing South Shore for the first time, so no judgment. I told them that I was giving them a pass. My guy Deli, still where nice to see you in the chat, Deli. My guy. All right, so let's get into the first topic of the night, or maybe I should say the second topic. Okay, yeah, front 7 to trenches. Yeah, you of course. Actually, Jared, like you could talk about Tottenville in the trenches. I mean, I think everyone can talk about it at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because going into the season, I was a little bit, not skeptical because I know the program Tottenville has, but I was like, they graduate a lot of really good offensive linemen. And the way that they were, executing and still paving holes for Tyshawn and Corey, it was really impressive. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously Tottenville's defensive line is really good, but I think South Shore, if I'm not mistaken, their offensive line might be at more full strength this time compared to 2 weeks ago. So that's going to be very interesting to see, South Shore, assuming they have all their guys back, going against, Tottenville D-line and linebackers like, Omar Mendez and Eli Jones. It's going to be big time.
Christian Borhe, quick shout out to you, my guy. We're going to break down. You guys are first up in the game of the week. And honestly, you guys are first up to be, the castle invaders. You know what I'm saying? So to see if somebody can invade the castle, we'll get into that. But all right, let's get into the first topic. Sage Media has been accused of not showing the Catholic League no love. I go where they pay me because I'm a business. Anyway,
come on now, Dre. Tell them to spread that love over there.
You know what I'm saying?
Spread that love.
This week, we are gonna start with the Catholic League because they are the winners of this week and they deserve all of their flowers for what they went and did up in Albany. A clean sweep.
Wow.
35-12 for Farrell. 28-14 for Hayes, and the big one, 37-7, Iona Prep over Somers High School. Wow. I don't know how many state championships they have. They've been to Syracuse. They pretty much have a timeshare in Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? That's how often they go to the state chip. Yeah. So, of course, my guy Ed in the chat, Ed has been summoned when he saw us put up Hayes on the screen. In the mix, yeah. But yeah, we're definitely gonna hand the reins over to Jared, and you can kind of go however you want with this one, man.
Yeah, big picture stuff. Just because some people, a lot of people in the chat don't know the teams they played against. Christian Brothers Academy, they went to the state championship last year in the AA. Somers won the state championship in Class A, and then the team Hayes played St. Joe's Collegiate. They're always in the mix in that upstate Catholic division. So it's really good competition. Honestly, a lot of people didn't know who was going to win some of these games. But yeah, we'll start off Monsignor Farrell, man. They look good against South Shore, and their defense looked really good. But they were going against Christian Brothers Academy, who has this quarterback named Archie Jones, who a lot of people think is the top 2026 quarterback in the state. He has D1 offers. He was electrifying, and it was incredible. And I hear you. But Farrell got to him an unbelievable amount of times. I think they sacked him 8 times. Wow. Monsignor Farrell's front 7 dominated that game against CBA, and they made the top senior quarterback in the state extremely uncomfortable. The Lions' defense was really impressive, but man, Farrell's offense also came to play. Bryce Moy was excellent. Kevin Gump, a guy I talked about last week, he had 3 touchdowns on the ground. This kid is just such a great high school football player. Like, you love to have a kid like Kevin Gump on your team, how hard he hits and how hard he runs. He's a great player. And yeah, it was a true, Farrell team win. Alex Houston was great. So yeah, Monsignor Farrell was really impressive. Cardinal Hayes, man, went against St. Joe's Collegiate. And all these new guys from Hayes are balling. Like, I think E mentioned last week about Drobnek, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, he made even more plays against St. Joe's Collegiate. And I was like, wow, that's really impressive. Of course, you have Khalid Hedges and Johnny Booker, I think, shocking everybody right now. Quarterback of Cardinals Hayes. He's making a lot of plays. Aiden Howard's a beast, the new tight end they got. He's going to be a serious problem, right? And then and I don't know if I think you guys all remember Kamari Valentine, the big defensive lineman. I think it's his little brother, Kimani. Ed, you can correct me if I'm wrong, who's also a beast. So this Hayes team kind of reloading. These young kids are just coming up, stepping up. It's really impressive. And going to Iona Prep Somers, I'll give you guys a quick background here. Both Westchester schools. Somers, the best pure public school, like it's a town, all that stuff, like in section. But they learned what the best team in the state is made of with Iona Prep. Iona Prep is a different animal. And like they showed it. I mean, Iona they won by 30. And honestly, probably could have been by a little bit more. And that's no disrespect to Somers. It's just because Iona is that dominant in the trenches. They have a ton of athletes everywhere. Julian Guzman threw for, I think, 4 first-half touchdowns.
Wow.
Drew Davis was excellent. And they have this defensive lineman, Josh Simmons, 6'5", just went up and just intercepted a screen pass and took it to the house. And this game, some people I saw on social media were like, it was over after the opening kickoff. Because on the opening kickoff, Brennan Presley absolutely took someone's head off and set the tone. And it was just, Iona was really impressive, man. That game was, pure dominance. I give Somers, honestly, a lot of credit. They made some good plays throughout. But, yeah, Iona had a big game. And honestly, a statement for the AAA. These 3 teams right here, we didn't even get into the other 3 who also had a great weekend. They're 3 of the top teams in New York for sure. So it was really impressive.
Yeah, I just want to give like a huge shout out to this league and the representatives here. Hold on, let's make sure Ed is recognized for giving his guy some love. 6 for 142 is tough. 6 for 142,
dude. And Gigi
tough.
And Gigi just said like he's like Reed Jones. And for people who've seen Reed Jones play football, like Reed was a stud. And honestly, I kind of like the comparison a little bit with how Drobnik can just go up and get it. It's really impressive, man.
Is Drobnik number 17?
Yeah.
Oh, so he strikes again, huh?
That's 3 TDs in 2 weeks for him too. So he's off to a hot start. Yep.
Wow, that's super impressive. But yeah, I mean, this league, I played in this league back in the Stone Age, and these kind of non-league matchups are so important, right? And I think it's so important for the state of New York. I was actually a conversation that's happening with Jared. You think of all the movies and stuff like that, Friday Night Lights or whatever, and they're like, yo, we're going to state. Like, it's all about the state championship, whatever. Like, that is such an experience that literally everyone else has, and like we don't. A team from Westchester playing a team from Long Island, or a team from Long Island playing a team from Albany. These kind of things that can really get everyone just so activated and stuff like that. So just huge shout outs to all these teams who, of course, you have to put your reputation on the line too.
That's like, it's huge, man. And that's why it's like these private versus public battles. I give the teams a lot of credit, but I really think, they should, continue happening. And it's no disrespect to the public schools, because any given year, man, they could have the talent to knock off one of the big privates, I'd put last year, for instance, Curtis, they could have beat a lot of teams in the Catholic League last season. So
Yeah, man, and just to again give my flowers to Somers. Again, it's a program I've been following just because of their dominance. Again, you have to put. Yeah, I see you, Monty, in the chat. Yeah, you have to put your reputation on the line. Of course, you get beat down by an Iona prep team, and you have to go back to Westchester, licking your wounds a bit. But Iona's like that. like Iona is really, really like that. Just seeing the clips.
Yeah.
It's just like this is a machine, man. Some of the throws the quarterback is making, the commentator described it as a rifle. Like absolutely. And football is his second sport.
That's the crazy thing. He's a baseball player. And his pocket on these passes. Do you see his pocket on these passes?
He's smoking a cigar.
He's chilling back there. Oh man! Shout out to that O-line at Iona for sure.
Dude, their offensive line just took over games. I mean,
Jared, is that true in the chat? What Monty said?
Nah, he used to be the quarterback. He used to be, but but he transferred out. But yeah, Joey Gaston was the QB at Iona Prep. He is Ice Spice's brother, but he's not there anymore.
Okay. Starting rumors in the chat like Jared didn't report on that. Like,
yeah, he used to be at Iona.
Yeah, and then real quick, I definitely want to give a shout out to Farrell as well. Farrell's always a team that is like, come on, like I'm trying to get into the semifinal. I'm trying to break into that top echelon. You know what I'm saying? And to completely beat down a South Shore team and to come up to Albany and do this, we all know about the Moy twins, Grum. Hopefully I'm saying it right.
Gum, yeah, you're close.
Gum. It's really impressive. So, of course, shout out to them, and of course Hayes. They're young, but
only 5 seniors, man.
Five seniors
starting. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You know what's great experience? Winning. Winning is great experience.
Yeah. Yo, these 3 schools, man, like Ed said it in the chat, they're playing some really good teams from New Jersey. So it's going to be very exciting this week. Farrell's got Del Barton.
Wow.
Hayes, I'm almost positive plays St. Joe's Regional. Like those 2 teams right there are very good. And then Iona Prep plays Paramus Catholic, who's also in that conference too. They're pretty solid, but it's
they're gonna punch Paramus. Sorry, Paramus.
That's what I think. I think Iona should cruise, and I'm not just saying that because I'm high on Iona. I think Paramus is a little bit lower in that division, but yeah, I think Iona should win. But St. Joe's Regional and Del Barton, I know are ranked pretty high in New Jersey, so it's gonna be a good test. But Hayes and Farrell, they have dogs, so we'll see.
Absolutely, man. Any last words on this? Is that a neutral site, or are they all just kind of go to Jersey?
I think this year they're going to Jersey because a lot of Jersey schools came to them last year.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. That's awesome. So good luck to all those teams, man. Shout out to the Catholic League. Don't ever say I don't respect the Catholic League. I am an alumni of the Catholic League, but cut it out.
Yeah, to answer that question, yes, Stepanak did beat Central Catholic. They beat him 23-20. Richie DeMarco, 100+ yards receiving, and Jordan Eaton had a big game too. Give those guys a quick shout out.
Listen, we will talk about this Catholic League, man. Like, obviously, Iona's the favorites, but like what you said, Jared, like 2 through 7, you might be able to shuffle that any way you want.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy, and these teams are getting some pretty nuts wins to start out. Yeah. We're really gonna see what happens this week when they play these Jersey superpowers. It's gonna be very interesting because I think a couple of New York teams are gonna surprise a lot of people for a regional standpoint.
No, absolutely. So I probably should have led with this tonight. We'll be just a bit shorter of a show, just because we don't have access. We didn't have access to every single game to watch. We will touch on certain games, but we will talk more about the games that we were able to watch. I know everyone was playing all over the place. So we are hopping into PSAL, and there was I call it a debut. There was a debut for a certain team. on 1137 Herkimer Street. They took a trip up to the Bronx, and they did a good job.
Yeah.
26-3 Eagle Academy over a good Fordham Prep team. And, that was kind of Jared's segment. So just I know you have just been chomping at the bit to see this Eagle team finally out of their tights in some pads. And they put on a good performance, man. What are your overall thoughts?
Like I've been saying, Eagle is definitely my sleeper team in the PSAL. I feel like they have enough to knock off some of the top 4A schools for sure. I would like to start, we all know about the playmakers that they have. The playmakers were on full display with Martin and Aaron. But defensively is what I really liked watching that game, because I feel like up front, their D-line with Chase and Sincere, and number 56. What's his name? It's a few guys up front.
Daryl Gatewood.
Yes, it's a few guys up front who are very impressive. KV is all over the field. Kayvon Robinson is all over the field making plays. So is Betty. And I feel like defensively, Eagle is slept on because, like I said, the playmakers that they have overshadow, the complexity of their overall team. But very impressive. Juju had a day. I like what I've seen from Tyler. Josiah Brown was making his plays. You had Corey McCracken with a TD. Yeah, it was just very impressive to see these guys, man. And I honestly feel like that's the best group of playmakers in the city right there, and they're gonna show that with time. So very impressed with Eagle.
I do want to shout this out. This is pretty good analysis, I would say, honestly. I do think Eagle has been, if you think about Eagle historically, yes, I think their defense, especially since they've been in, the top divisions, I do think that defense has always been pretty solid. So yeah, I agree with this analysis
No, but the reason why I said that is because everyone knew about the additions that transferred in. So it kind of overshadowed what they were doing defensively, Mm-hmm. And I forgot to shout out Trav. Shout out to Travis with a very nice TD catch. It looked like he ran a dig route. I think that was a dig route. He got missing after that though, but shout out to Travis too on that nice TD catch.
Yeah, shout out to KV for sure. KV in the chat. Jared, I'll just your overall thoughts, because I know again you've been excited to see Eagle in action as well.
Yeah, man, I thought this was going to be a really good test because Fordham Prep, they have some good players, but they're always well coached and pretty disciplined, and they execute well, and they're always in the mix in the AA. But Eagle just came out, played their game, and they were so difficult to stop. They dominated this one. But their offense was great. But I'll start off on the other side of the ball. Chase, number 11 on Eagle.
Chase Hyacinth.
Hyacinth. Yeah, that's how you pronounce the last name. So Chase Hyacinth, 11 on Eagle, man. He is going to be a huge problem at defensive end all season long. He's 6'4" and he flies around the field. Fordham could not block him. He was constantly getting pressure on the quarterback. He was phenomenal. And then he pairs up with Sincere Hester, and it just becomes so dangerous because both of them, are just so dominant, on the defensive side of the ball. So that duo, really impressive. What E said about, those other guys up front is great. And then on offense, it's just so interesting because you look at, who you try to stop on Eagle. Like, all right, you try to stop Zaire. Well, they got Tyler. They have CJ. They have Trav. They have Juju. They have Josiah. It's just unbelievable how many weapons they have. And yeah, I'm going to co-sign what E said. They have, in my opinion, at least the most exciting skill group in New York City right now. It's really incredible. And they have two quarterbacks who can get them the ball. Aaron Smith and Martin Kopelman did their thing. So Eagles looking scary, man. And this isn't an overreaction Monday. I'll say it because I know what Fordham Prep does and who they are and how well coached they are. Eagle look great, and I think they're going to look awesome this upcoming week.
Yeah, and just to give some more flowers, I said this over the broadcast. Fordham Prep is hailing their heaviest offensive line since the head coach has been there, and he's been there since the 90s. They're averaging 260 pounds. They have 2 300-pounders. One of their 300-pound guys wasn't able to play, so that definitely hurt them. But this Fordham Prep team is, they will compete in the Catholic AA1 division. So you definitely have to give them their flowers here. And I also have to GG. I really like this point. And, that was like a key for my analysis is you have all these skill positions. You have one ball. How can you get everyone involved? And I like that nothing felt forced. Let's say in the beginning of the game, Josiah Brown caught a pass. Juju was heavily targeted as he should be. I rate Juju very highly. And I remember I said the only person not getting so involved, right? Excuse me. And then Travis caught his touchdown, right? And then I said, one of the people not really getting involved is CJ McCracken, right? They run a jet sweep for CJ, just get his hands on some leather. And I really like that, how creative they're being. Of course, CJ eventually ate. And that's like the main story from this game is that everybody really ate on Eagle from Juju, from Carrot, from CJ, Zaire. He looked great when he got his chances. Tyler Grayson, he was able to punch it into the end zone. So it's a great job. I feel like it's appropriate for me to be the person to throw water on the parade. But one thing that, again, I have said privately, I've said publicly, I'm still concerned about Eagle and their short yardage gain. Of course, you can survive without it. But, I was thinking about it, let's say it's a 3rd and 2, right? If you're able to hand the ball off and get a 3rd and 2 easily, right? The variables in that are the running back, the offensive line, right? Of course, I guess you can kind of say that the handoff too, but that's kind of obvious, right? So the running back and the offensive line, right? Boom, 2 variables, get your first down. I feel like Eagles kind of struggling in the short yardage gain, especially on 2-point conversions. And once the field gets a bit more compressed, your athletes kind of have less room to be athletes, 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, I think Eagle are one of the most dangerous teams in the league. But I definitely want to see them improve on the 3rd and shorts and the 2-point conversions. And lastly, I just definitely want to give a shout out to the defense, especially the 2 linebackers, Beatty Joyce, number 5, and KV Robinson, just like E was mentioning before, number 0. The defense, the style of defense Eagles playing, there's a lot of onus on those guys to make plays. And I said it on the broadcast, every time there was a pile, it was like 0 and 5, or like attached at the hip, getting up from the bottom of the pile. So definitely keep that up and keep the hunger. So a few chats here. Yeah, definitely shout out to the offensive line because they were, when I think about it, I think Aaron got flushed out the pocket once. I think Martin got sacked on a 2-point conversion, but I think that was it. They were mostly chilling, to be honest with you. And
Well,
I was gonna say, Zaza, like that run was just, something about those shoulders, bro. Like I don't know, like something about.
I heard you mention that during the broadcast too, Andre, about the first person really never tackles him. Like if that was a stat for, you mentioned that too. If there was a stat
exactly
for like how many whiffs or like how many missed tackles a player has, Zaza will be up there for in the top of the league for sure. Like it's crazy how many.
Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off. Sorry.
No. I was just gonna say it's crazy how many people he makes miss. Like it's electric. Perfect way to describe it.
No, in all seriousness, there's a stat for yards after contact, right? There's a stat for yards after catch, yak, right?
Yeah.
like especially with players like, oh my God, Barry Sanders, freaking Devontae Hall. Let me give someone that the young boys actually know. Players like Christian McCaffrey.
There you go. Yeah.
You guys I probably lost a few people.
It's about to Google it real quick. Hold on, let me Google who you talking about.
My next one was Tavon Austin. They're about to be like, "Yo, who you talking about? Tavon Austin? Who's that?"
They might know him. They might.
Come on, yeah.
They might know.
Yo, but speaking of Tavon Austin and like highlight tapes like that, when Zaire is done with his sophomore year, he has like the potential to have some sort of highlight tape that could go viral because of how electric he is with making
all
people
the bodies.
dance. Like his tape, his tape would go viral.
Yeah,
man,
for sure.
I'm telling you. But one last unfortunately thing for Eagle that I want to see from them when they play against some of the big dogs. I love their pass rush, but let's see if they can stop the run. That's what I'm going to be very interested in because the top 3, they're going to be running the ball.
Yeah.
So let's see that. I'm going to be excited, but yeah, they're on a very good track right now.
That's a very, very, very good point because Mr. Morrow is coming to town. Mr. Bent,
especially in November.
Mr. Bent and Mr. Corey Brown are coming to town. You know what I'm saying? Rhyming accidentally. So it's you're right. Can you really compete with the big dogs? My guy Wheeler. I feel you because I feel like it's like strange that there's not a stat for that. Like there should be a stat for how many because I guess would it count as a broken tackle, or do you count a broken tackle like what Derrick Henry does?
That's a great stat. That should definitely be taken into consideration. I agree with you.
Because to me, a broken tackle and a whiff tackle are 2 different things. And ESPN, Amazon, and got all these next gen stats. Like somebody help me. So Michael, yes, we are going to talk about Sheepshead Bay later. Any last thoughts on Eagle?
Just impressive, and can't wait to see what's to come in the future.
Yeah, absolutely
impressive.
My last word on this is Eagles. I'm going to speak in code. Less is more. Okay, just gonna throw that out there. Less is more, Eagle Academy. If you know, you know. All right, to the next game. The next game. I was excited to. I was able to take some pictures at was New Dorp, James Madison, 12-6. New Dorp with the win. I felt like it was really. I was really excited to see this game because obviously, again, New Dorp was a part of that unfortunate 3 last year with their schedule. They have a new offense. They were able to get a good win last week. So I wanted to check them out, and especially against the James Madison team. James Madison was in the 4A last year, and now they're in the 3A. So I guess I'll take the lead on this one. New Dorp is playing a different brand of football. They're playing a triple option. And I think it's okay for them because of, typically how a New Dorp team is. They're going to have a bunch of tough runners, a bunch of tough blockers. So I do think it suits them to a certain extent. I will talk about my concerns later. And again, please forgive us on the names because, again, the teams have not posted their rosters. So, you guys can, say it in the chat, or you guys can leave comments. Number 1, he was able to score a touchdown. I thought he did a great job running real hard. The highlight player for New Dorp coming into the year, of course, is JT Rose. JT, I hope you get better. He took a knock and in the second quarter, I'm pretty sure, and he couldn't finish out the game. And I thought
JT got hurt.
Yes. I don't know the extent of it, but hopefully you get it's not too serious. JT, number 7, I did a great job coming in there and filling in for JT. Obviously, 7 is more of just an athlete. You know what I'm saying? He's the backup quarterback on the depth chart. You know what I'm saying? So I thought he did a good job orchestrating the offense. So New Dorp scored, make it 6-0, and then huge shout out to James Madison. I see Gavin in the chat. Gavin, let me know. Is that number 6? You're number 6. Huge shout out to James Madison. It's a team, it's a program that's kind of building back up. If you guys have been around the PSAL for a little bit, you know that Madison had quite the run, especially in the second division, which was called the Bowl Division. I think they won it. If it wasn't 2 years in a row, I think it was 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row. Someone from Madison can correct me. And they were one of the dominant teams in all of the PSAL, honestly. And they got moved up to the 4A. Got a really great win against Curtis early on in the season. I think this was 2 years ago.
Oh,
yeah, you remember that? They shook the room with that one. We were like, Curtis,
yes,
what
dude.
in the...
Bro, they went on the road, too.
Yeah, that was a great
Go
win.
away and beat Curtis a few years ago. That was a huge thing. Yeah, wow, Joe, you just unlocked the memory. That was electric.
Yeah. So Madison is a proud program. The past couple of years they've had a tough time dropping back down to the. So it was 3 years in a row. Okay, I was pretty confident it was 3. So fell on some hard times, had some bad records. We're actually only 1 game away from going to the playoffs last year. It would have taken, like, they would have had to beat JFK and some other craziness would have had to happen. But yes, Madison almost made the playoffs last year. So, they dropped down to the 3A. And again, you're going against a New Dorp team who's a staple in the top division. And, they definitely made a fight of it. Huge shout out to number 5 and to number 3. Again, if you guys know their names, so you can let me know in the chat so I can properly shout them out. But number 5 and number 3 are very, very good at athletes. I think they're going to make some noise in the 3A. I thought number 1, it was a very, very good quarterback, very good showing. The New Dorp front 7 definitely caused them a little bit of problems. He didn't have that much time to really operate, but where he could, I thought he was doing a pretty good job. They're not going to see that level of front 7 every week in the 3A. So I think number 1 from James Madison is going to be someone to look out for. I don't exactly remember the type of play. I think it was a jet sweep that number 5 took for about, maybe it was 45 yards for a touchdown to make it 6-6. And it was 6-6 for a very, very long time. Both teams had chances to score. Madison definitely has a very tough defense. They were hanging in there. And, New Dorp eventually broke off a big run, number 25, and it proved to be the game-winning score. Okay, there you go. So number 5 is Travis Leahy. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Yeah, so Travis Leahy, definitely a good athlete. And the criticism I have of New Dorp, of course, it's a new offense. They're building it up slowly. But if you're going to run this triple option offense, you need a home run punch. If you think of JFK, they have the counter reverse. They have their double handoff. Everyone knows, Mr. Patantis made a career off of the counter reverse. Or the counter sweep. I don't know if anyone from JFK is in the chat. I don't know what you guys call it. But you need a home run play. I felt like, if you bring it to boxing, New Dorp had a jab, 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 jab. Like, yo, I need an uppercut. Like, we need an uppercut. Whether it's a throw, whether it's, like I said, some kind of counter reverse, some kind of sweep. He scored off of his zone. Okay. Yeah, Gavin, I was taking pictures, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, it looks like to me, like and I'm not saying that to make fun of you. I'm just, because maybe you've never held a camera before, but of course, you could definitely.
Yeah,
you can only see the game.
It happens. It happens sometimes. Yeah,
you can't exactly tell what the play is, especially if you're taking pictures.
Yeah.
Because I'm much more zoomed in. Anyway, yeah. So I thought New Dorp had a very good representation of themselves. I think they're going to be a team that can get into the playoffs. Ooh, week 1 is a good one. New Dorp, Port Richmond. That is a goody.
Yes.
So good luck to those teams. Guys, anything? Or can I move on?
Yeah, well, one thing actually. New Dorp, first 2 weeks. I believe, holding Wagner single digits, holding James Madison single digits. Defense looking good. Now you get to go against Kasim Cromwell and AJ Zimmerman in a Staten Island type of rivalry game. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun. Port is gonna rely a lot on that offense this year. And it looks like, New Dorp relying a lot on JT Rose, hopefully he plays and that tough defense that they bring. So New Dorp, Port Richmond, it's going to be so important. And I know it's just week 1, but we're going to be looking back at this Port Richmond New Dorp game as both of them are fighting against the playoffs, as why one's higher than the other.
Great point.
Like I could see that happening down the line if both teams, play to their ability where they are so close to getting in the playoffs. This week 1 game means so much.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, that was another one of them that was up for consideration for game of the week, but I had to go to the Castle first. So we go from talking about New Dorp, talking about the Castle, and let's go and talk about the Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Shout out to the Sharks.
34-22 Sheepshead over Xaverian. E, do you wanna start with this one?
Yeah, I feel like this is a very big win for the Sharks for the simple fact that I heard a lot of people trying to downplay FJM a little bit because they were saying that that's not the typical poly that we know of. So I feel like for a lot of people from the outside looking in, it was one of those things where, okay, you be poly, but can you actually beat a team that's a solid squad, So I feel like this was kind of a statement win for the Sharks, showing that they can beat a quality opponent. And now that gives them the momentum going into week 1. I think they play Cardozo week 1 to start the season off. But Coop, I heard Coop had a game. I expect Coop to terrorize the 3A all year long.
Terrorize is a perfect way to put it.
Because I feel like, and I could tell by his energy and his his aura. Coop has a chip on his shoulder, and he's moving like he has something to prove. Jacob Reed played. That's a familiar name. He didn't play against Poly. So Jacob Reed was active this game. He had 2 TDs.
Oh, okay.
2 TD day for Jacob Reed. Jaden Brown had a TD. D'Lo played well. Delonte Davis, who's a new athlete on the team this year. So yeah, I feel like the Sharks have momentum going into their week 1, and I can't wait to see what's to come for them,
Jared, Xaverian was a team that won the AA2 division last year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won the AA2, and they returned a bunch of players from that squad. And honestly, there was at least some people that I know. I don't know if it was like an official conversation, but some people were like, "Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they move up to the AA1. They could play with AA1 teams. They played tough with St. Joe's by the Sea last year." And yeah, Xaverian's a good ball club, But FJM came to play, and also I was talking to our old friend Mac a little bit about this
emphasis on old friend. He's not our friend anymore.
And do you guys know Naeem Cooper's stat line, man?
No, I don't know the actual stat line.
It was actually ridiculous. Naeem Cooper decides to go for 10 carries, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, and adds 3 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. And then on defense, He goes for 7 tackles and a game-sealing interception.
Wow.
That's a good day in fantasy.
This is all in one game.
So yeah, terrorize is the perfect word to describe what he's about to do in the 3A this year. Perfect word to describe it.
I will say,
that,
and again, I guess I don't know why I'm the Debbie Downer of the group today, but there's, I think the secret is out on Naeem, so I'm curious to see how the teams in the 3A kind of game plan around them.
Absolutely.
Oh, Ed's right, by the way. They moved up to the AA1. That's my mistake. Ed is right.
Okay, who's even down in the AA2? Is it Mount? Did Mount get out of there yet, or?
So Mount's in the AA2. Christ the King, who actually has some Long Island.
Is Xavier still down there, or did they move?
Oh, Xavier's in the AA1. Holy Trinity is down in the AA2 this year, and Holy Cross is still there.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
Okay, man, I'm old, but yeah, man, Xaverian, Holy Cross, Holy Trinity, all in the AAA when I was playing in high school. My senior year, Holy Trinity was undefeated. Lost in the chip game to St. Anthony's, but everybody lost in the chip game to St. Anthony's at that time, except Iona. But that was the infamous Jeff Mack game. Is that his name? I think his name was Jeff Mack. I don't know if you heard about that.
Jeff Mack. Yeah,
I think
Jeff was a problem. The running back. Yeah. Jeff Mack.
I swear to God, like I was in the All-Star game, and I swear he did a false step. Like he was about to step, and somehow he shifted, and he made like 3 people fly into the sideline. I was like, I was playing offense, so I'm on the side. I was literally just like, what just happened? Literally everyone on the sideline was like, what just happened? Shout out to Mac.
Jeff Mack. Yeah.
Mac, if you ever see this.
Problem.
Anything else on this one?
Just an impressive W by the Sharks. I feel like they kind of proved that they can be legit this year. Obviously it's a long season. Anything can happen, but this was a good quality win for sure. I think that's a good way to describe it, a quality win. So
wow. This Ed, I'll text you about this one later, Ed. That's crazy. 8
TDs in a chip game.
8?
What?
Wait, Ed, maybe 8.
Yeah.
It was 8? No, it was 8. It was 8, Ed?
Nah.
No, I know it was like 4. I know it was like 4 or something. And you gotta remember too, like at that time, like St. Anthony's was like, maybe I wasn't following as heavily because I was playing, but everyone's like, all right, like St. Anthony's was like in their heyday. I think they might have, that might have been no, I guess Schreiber won. So no, it wasn't what's homeboy? It wasn't Brady, because I know Brady won 2. So maybe I guess Schreiber won. He won 1 and lost 1. If you guys don't know who we're talking about some old St. Anthony's quarterbacks. Jared knows what I'm talking about, St. Anthony alum.
He was legendary.
Yeah. So that's crazy that you coached him for sure, Mac. I said Mac, Ed. So my guy Mac in the chat. That's why I want to say, what up, Mac? Good thing he didn't hear what we said before. Love Dre using the custom emojis. Oh, that's interesting. They don't come up as the custom emojis, but on YouTube they come up as the custom emojis. Yo, that actually
if we could use that.
What you mean?
Max said he don't know if he could use the line up emoji.
Nah. I'm putting it in the chat. No, it's time. No, listen. As your first game of the regular season, it's time to line up. It's time to line up. I haven't seen South Shore play yet, so yeah, it's time to line up. Okay.
It's time.
It's definitely time to line up. Mac, you ain't hear nothing, man. I don't believe you. All right, so just real quick, I don't have a special graphic for this, but we're just gonna kind of go over, just anything we kind of want to talk about. As far as non-league goes, if you guys want to talk about anything specifically that we haven't spoken about, there were so many games. So yeah, I wasn't going to make a graphic for everything. So I guess I will start it off with APR Chaminade.
Yeah.
What is your thought on that one?
You go first, Jared.
Yeah, honestly, it was interesting. I mean, APR, like they were in it. They were in it for a little, like honestly, a little bit. Med Tory had a ridiculous touchdown.
He's good. He's good.
Like it was ridiculous. Like this kid is very, very good.
That was probably one of the more that was one of the most impressive plays of the 2 weeks, I would say. It's definitely up there.
Definitely.
Yeah. Tough run.
Yeah, breaking a lot of tackles against a tough Chaminade defense, man. That was really entertaining. He's been looking really good. And that APR defense, man, like they made some plays. The defensive line made some plays. It was pretty impressive, but unfortunately, Chaminade a little bit more versatile, a little bit deeper, and they ended up running away with it. But compared to, I hate to like compare games, but Chaminade's in that realm of Stepanak and Farrell, and Stepanak and Farrell had a lot easier of a time with their PSAL opponents. But still, regardless, Chaminade still took the win pretty convincingly.
Guys, can I pause for a second and forgive me for breaking this up? I cannot believe the stat line I just got sent, y'all. And sorry, I know not everyone knows who we're talking about, but Jeff Mack had I can't believe what I'm about to read right now. 20 in a chip game, 24 carries for 393 yards and 7 touchdowns.
What?
Oh my God.
393 yards and 7 tuds is crazy.
Yo, I forgot. I don't know how I forgot. I didn't realize it was 7. I knew it was crazy. I knew it was crazy.
You was off.
That was way off. I said 4. Oh my God.
4.
Oh my God. All right. Sorry. Anything on the APR Clinton? Oh my God. APR Chaminade game, E?
Yeah. I was, regardless of the score, I was definitely impressed with APR. That's really what I was paying attention to watching that game. I didn't expect them to win that game, but it was a few players who stood out to me. Like Jared mentioned, Med Tour. I feel like we all had this question coming into the year with APR, knowing that Travis left. Who's gonna step in offensively? That's very big shoes to fill, losing Travis. So I feel like Ahmed is definitely capable of, providing a very big workload offensively for them. But it was definitely a few guys who stood out to me. I got their names here. In the trenches, they had 2 guys, 54 and number 58. 54 is Rock Kwanunu. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. 58 is Jair Edwards. These 2 guys were playing right next to each other, making plays against a very good Chaminade O-line. I like the linebacker number 11, Anthony Petre. Number 8 was making plays as well. Elijah Ba. They had a DB number 3 who he's been there. I believe he wore number 2 last year. His name is Zaire Jones. So I feel like APR is definitely gonna make a run in the 3A this year. I think I'm gonna say this now. I feel like if they do everything right, APR should be in a championship game in the 3A this year. Against who? Against who? I don't know. But I also feel like their offensive line needs some work. But I will have to see that against PSAL comp because Chaminade defensively in the trenches was just a little too much for them up front. So I will have to see their O-line against PSAL quality D linemen. But and I would also like to see Manny do a little more in the passing game for that APR offense. But yeah, overall, like I said, I feel like APR had way more athletes than I thought they had, and that's a very good thing. And like I said, I think that if they play their cards right, if they do the right things, they should be in the championship this year. So that's my hot take. And yeah, I'm sticking with it. They have enough to make a good run this year.
Yeah, I had to go back and check. I mean, the semifinals last year was Fort Hamilton over Truman and Brooklyn Tech over APR. So, with Fort Hamilton and Brooklyn Tech moving up, APR, Truman, can you guys slide up into their position? So
Can you
it's going to
take
be
that next
interesting to
step?
see.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's to be very interesting to see.
But I do feel like sometime down the line, with film and once the word gets out, teams are obviously going to key in on Tor, because he's their guy. So that's when it's going to come down to Manny having to make some plays. I haven't really seen him flourish throwing the ball yet. I know last year he had a shoulder injury. So yeah, Manny definitely has to show me something. But yeah, that definitely a lot of good things I've seen from APR for sure.
Just real quick, because I see someone just put this in the chat. Just definitely want to shout out Ray Villanueva. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Ray Villanueva, number 1 from Madison. I think he will be someone, just like the discussion we're having right now, someone in the 3A that can really make some some noise. Shout out to him. Where to next? Curtis. So Curtis and Tottenville, I don't know. We didn't really. Did you guys see those? I know the film wasn't great from those.
No, just
I actually no, you go.
Just with Curtis. What did I see from Curtis? Yeah, so I seen a little something on Huddle. Both Ant Caratelli and Vinny Canzaneri, they both got some playing time. Vinny threw a beautiful touchdown pass. I think it was like a 30-yard TD pass to a more Catholic transfer. Ethan Elam, I think was his name. Was that his name?
Oh, yeah, they got 2? I didn't realize they got 2. My fault.
Yeah.
6'4" sophomore.
Oh, he's a sophomore. Wow.
What number? Do you guys know what number he is?
What number did he wear? That's a great question, Dre.
Someone in the chat. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass by Vinny. 30 yards, I believe, on the money. Quadir Gomez just shy of 100 rushing yards. 17 carries for 98 yards. That's about 6 yards a carry. We'll take that on any day of the week. Akai Lewis. We had a Akai Lewis appearance this week. 4 catches for 53 yards. Yeah, it seems like this game was the score shows it was kind of a close game. Curtis with 272 total yards and North Rockland with 212 total yards. So that was it was a good grinded out win for Curtis. I didn't really hear much about what those Savages did up front. what big number 3 did and number 22 and company. Yeah, I didn't really hear much about those guys this week, but Curtis pulled out that W against a very good North Rockland team. So
yeah, so he's number 4. What was his name again? The more Catholic
Elam. Ethan Elam.
Okay, I'll
sophomore. Jared said a sophomore. So
yeah, and it's funny that Giovanni said it in the chat that he's number 4. Giovanni's being modest right now. He had a great game as a kicker. I think definitely 2 field goals. I think he nailed 3 field goals. Yeah, and that's big time. And that's one thing with Curtis. We saw it last year, how big their special teams is. And I've just seen so many high school football games decided by special teams. So many every single year. And
very important.
Bernardo from Curtis, man, looking like a weapon. So that's huge. That's huge for the Warriors.
2 things. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say one thing with Curtis. Now, Curtis was the other school who I feel like is up there with Eagle in terms of the amount of playmakers they have.
Yeah.
And it's a very similar situation because they have 2 quarterbacks as well who could sling it.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Yeah, it's a very similar situation, you know. So Curtis has a Kai Lewis, Jaden Melendez, what's his name? Michael Van Manen. That's number 6. He was there last year as well, making plays. Ethan Elam, and I think I'm forgetting number 8. I don't know number 8's name, but he had that TD catch against St. Peter's. So a whole lot of, and of course you can't forget Quadir in the backfield. So a whole lot of playmakers for the Warriors. So definitely can't wait to see them light it up this year for sure.
Yeah, like I just want to say there's 2 things I want PSAL teams to stop neglecting. 1, stop neglecting the tight end, please. I know everyone wants to play some spread offense, some triple option, this and that. Y'all, please, like throw the ball through the seams. Like, come on, it's there. Stop neglecting the tight ends and stop. I don't know if it's what it is with this league and special teams. People not fielding punts, letting the ball roll 25 yards.
That'd be
no kickers. Like, y'all,
me.
Field the punts. And I wish I can't say kick field goals. I know everyone doesn't have the personnel to do it, but at least field the punts for me. Please just go field the punt, man. You're never gonna be able to do it if you don't just go do it, man. Stop letting it roll 30 yards.
Yeah. It happens every week. I see it happen multiple times. Like, and the thing with that is though, I rarely see coaches flipping out about that. Because as a coach, I would flip out about that. Like, bro, field position is crucial. You just let that punt roll 15 to 20 yards, bro. And it's just like, all right, offense, let's go. It's like, bro, did you not just see what he did over there, coach? That's not a problem. That's a problem, coach.
And here's the thing about it, right? They'll tell you it's because they don't want to, muff the punt and have the big turnover. But that's the reason you're muffing the punt, because you don't have confidence to go get the punt. The ball's going in the air, and the first thing in your head is like, okay, if it's not coming right, if it's not coming right to me, don't go. Just go get it. Go get it. Trust yourself.
Absolutely. Most of the time, the guy back deep is a guy who can make plays for you. You don't put anyone back deep who can't return that thing and make plays. So, like you said, field that punt. Field that punt.
Yes, and I know this is its own segment. And no, I'm not talking about if the punt goes like 15, 20 yards, you have to sprint up for it. Like, no. Like, anyone who watches the PSAL knows very well that there be some punts that be going 30, 40 yards. Yeah. And the dudes be letting it roll. It drives me crazy.
Those coaches didn't catch punts. That's why. I mean, listen, well, the OC could say something. The receivers coach could say something. Someone got to get on that return man's ass for that, behind for that. Sorry, excuse my language.
He's passionate about it. Just as I am.
Because that bothers me too. I see it way too much, and I never understand it. Like, what? Never understand it.
Yo, E, do you understand what your alma mater did this weekend?
Oh man, let's not even go there. On to the next. On to the next. Keep it pushing. Don't do that.
I'm glad you brought that up, Dre.
Don't do that to me.
No, hold on a second. Hold on.
Oh man.
Yo, you got hands to your crowds.
Nah, don't do that to me. Man. Don't do that to me, man. That's tough, man. Listen, every week we're just gonna skip past Canarsie as fast as we can. As fast as we can, on to the next with Canarsie, man. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. It's gonna be a long year for my boys, man. I already know, but listen, man.
Listen,
we gotta pull the card. At least they're playing their games. Hopefully they finish out the year without any BS. But losing to a 1A school, We got to do better. We have to do better. That's just, I don't know if that ever happened. A 4A school losing to a 1A school. We have to do better. We have to do better.
Listen, and shout out to Coach Sears. Obviously, it's a tough situation, and they're building from the ground up. So shout out to everybody over there. Got to stay competitive. I know it's a big blemish, but that's why it's a non-league game. Next week was it Clinton? I actually didn't look at their schedule, but
yeah, I thought they were gonna play Clinton next week. Yeah, weren't they?
Let me.
Oh, I thought Clinton played Tech.
No, you could be right, Jared.
Yeah. Let me see who Canarsie has first.
There's some Clinton guys in the chat.
Let me see.
I think.
Yeah. So yes, they're playing Brooklyn Tech first week.
That's gonna be
Clinton's
a game. I'm gonna talk about.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about what Clinton and Tech did in a minute.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
They play Wagner. Okay, they play Wagner first game. That's what they play.
Yeah. Open up against Wagner. Yep.
Okay, got you. Yeah, Jared, go ahead. Take the reins, man.
Yeah, for sure. So Clinton, they played Lehman in two Bronx schools going at it, 4A versus 3A. And Clinton played really well, man. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They made a ton of plays. The score that I saw, at least on social media, was 40-6, which is really impressive because Lehman, they're no slouches over there, man. So Clinton did their thing. A lot of new faces, I assume, because obviously you graduate a lot of great talent, like Pedro and Tyler Cabasa, so new guys got to step up. Like I saw Julian Ortiz in the chat earlier. He had some highlights where he was running defenders over and he was playing well. And Clinton, they also looked like they were doing pretty good in the trenches, from at least from the clips that I saw. But 40-6, man, that's a big W. I'm excited to see what Clinton does now in 4A play. Also for Lehman, I mean, obviously it's not the start that they wanted, but they are running a new offense and they have a great coaching staff over there. So I think personally, when things start to click together, really, don't sleep on Lehman. I think they're gonna be able to really get it together and show out this season. So we'll see about that. They're gonna be a tough group in the 3A, but Clinton really getting off to a great start, man. I'm also excited to learn about a lot of these Clinton linemen because it always seems like they got a couple guys in the trenches that are good. And big and tough, and number 70 was good. And then I think they have a receiver, Xaverian, I think maybe who could be pretty good this season. So we'll see about that. And then Brooklyn Tech, they put on a show against Stuyvesant, man.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, they have I was gonna say, because we all we were all watching some clips because we know about Ezra Jose already. Because Ezra Jose is a stud. He is. He had another 100 yards and 2 touchdowns receiving. He's really good. And you got the new quarterback, Cole Scanlon, who was slinging that thing. I mean, you guys saw it. He's like, you lose Michael Jung, but you get Cole Scanlon in the mix, and it's looking pretty scary. And, of course, you still have Tristan Suarez. So Brooklyn Tech's offense is looking good. Now you're going against a Clinton team who also has a lot of momentum. It's a sneaky good week 1 game, man. A sneaky good game. And if Clinton, man, they're hungry. I know Julian and his guys are hungry. You want to keep proving yourself? You get the 3A champs this week. Let's see what's up.
Sneaky good game. You're right, Jared. Yep.
Yeah. I've spoken about Clinton's schedule this year, which I don't understand. I will continue to say that. Like, I don't understand Clinton's schedule. Oh, let me share my screen. Hold on a second.
PSAL, the PSAL.
Let's make this into a segment, man. How do I do this? Give me a second. Screen. Yeah, let's.
In the meantime, 2 more guys for BK Tech, Caleb Fisher and Nate Schulman. Both did well, but yeah, let's see the schedule. Let's see it.
We're talking Brooklyn Tech, Tottenville, New Dorp on the road, Lincoln on the road, E-Hall, Canarsie, Curtis, and Port Richmond. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like
every week Yeah, every week.
It's a war. It really is.
Other than the obvious game on the schedule that we don't have to mention, but
Listen,
every other game.
Real quick, just to address this one thing. That was E's welcome to the podcast moment. All right, we've all had to be on the big screen. He hasn't had the big camera moment, the big screen moment yet. So
and no shade to Canarsie.
No shade to Canarsie. Hopefully, we know the situation.
You know, with Coach Sears, like you mentioned, Andre has a very good head on his shoulders, and he's trying to get the program back in the right direction. So I don't want any of the viewers to feel like we're trying to throw shade at Canarsie, because that's not the case.
No, we're just trying to
to
have some fun.
It's all
about my guy Mike Walker. Nice to see you,
that's my guy. Mike, see you soon. Yes, sir.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited to see Clinton having a good start, because just like you said, it now makes me think, okay, that Brooklyn Tech is going to could be a nice game, and then 4 wins is what I keep saying will get you into the playoffs. Obviously there's some really tough games on the schedule, but if you look at, if you're looking for 4 wins, Brooklyn Tech, New Dorp, Canarsie, Port Richmond,
it might be able to.
You're in the playoffs.
That's not ridiculous.
This isn't counting you guys out on some of those bigger games, but obviously we're talking preseason. So shout out to Clinton.
PSAL gave him the top 3 teams to play against.
I just don't get it. They were the 8th seed in the playoffs, and they got 8th seed off of a coin toss or whatever it was, because it was like a 3-way tie. I don't
Yeah, but wow. But yeah, huge. Wow, man. Who would have thought week 1 is so important for the playoffs, man, when you really
a few games.
It's so crazy.
A few games, yep.
Yeah,
let's show Transit Tech some love.
Yes, I have that on my list. Yeah, go ahead.
So from what I heard, that was a game where they were down 20-8 at the half. Transit Tech was down 20-8 at the half. And they obviously came back to win that game. So shout out to Transit Tech. I have some stats here. The defense allowed less than 50 total yards in that second half after those adjustments, which obviously propelled that win. Terry McKay, free safety with 5 tackles and an interception. That was a pick 6. That was a pick 6.
Okay.
5 tackles, 1 defensive touchdown. Yeah. Elijah Eamon, 6 tackles, 3 sacks. Wow. Sherrod Griffin, 6 tackles, 3 tackles for loss with a sack. Maximus Luna, 5 tackles, 2 TFLs. Offensively, Kyle McKay, which is their starting running back, 147 yards with 1 rushing TD. Daniel Hall, 5 receptions, 62 receiving yards. And then you have a kid, Corey Williams, with 2 receptions, 68 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. So Transit Tech is definitely a school who I feel like can make a run for that 2A title. I seen them play some 7-on-7 ball. They have some pieces. They have some athletes. And this was a very big win for them. It's showing their character with that come from behind win, being down 20-8. So yeah, shout out to Transit Tech, man. That was a big W against a New Utrecht team. So
as respectfully as I can say this, and sometimes you just got to be honest. This is the bowl. This is the race to see who plays Evil Queens in the chip.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Like that is the reality of this 2A. All right.
Yeah,
it just really is the reality. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Transit Tech. Just like E was saying, they were in the B Great Academy. Shout out to my guy Dave Legree. Tap in with him for B Great Academy. They were in the B Great Academy 7-on-7 tournament this summer, and that one had some big hitters. Had the South Shores, Lincoln, Tech, FJM, Sheepshead. You know, they had some big hitters. And from what I heard, Transit Tech did well in their scrimmages as well. And, you know, they were undefeated in the 1A, got upset in the semifinal. I know it was a big disappointment to those guys. You know, they share fields with Eagle Academy. So, you know, would talk with them, you know, from time to time. And I know it was a big disappointment, you know, not being in that 1A championship. But they said, yo, let's lick our wounds. We feel like we have a squad. Let's move up to the 2A. You know, you beat a New Utrecht team that was a 4A team last season. Yep. Now they're in the 3A. Yep. So just like you're telling me, they come from behind, win. Got to give you guys your flowers.
Absolutely.
Those were actually the games I had. Are there any other games before we get into the game of the week preview, guys?
Shout out to, you know, FDR for picking up a big win. I didn't expect them to beat Lane.
That's a big upset, man. I forgot. I don't know how I don't have that one. Oh, God. That 3A division is confusing the hell out of me.
Yeah. I have to see a lot with some of these schools. I agree. But, you know, from what I see on social media from FDR, they seem very motivated. They feel like they have something to prove, which is a good thing. But yeah, that was a very big win for them against Lane. Just some names that were mentioned to me who were their key performers. We love to shout out the talent around the city. So you have Evan Todman, Justin Edwards, Christopher Edwards, Kevin Abrams, Abrams, not Abraham, Kevin Abrams, and Benjamin Wolfson Harris. I seen a clip. The QB1 is Benjamin Wolfson Harris with a beautiful touchdown pass to Justin Edwards. So, you know, shout out to FDR.
FDR, man, they're on their way. I'm excited to see them, man. That's a huge win. I know they're super excited about this season. They feel like they got a good, tough group. So I was pumped about that, man. That's a huge win. One school in the 3A, actually two schools quick shout outs, right? McKee, big bounce back game. They played the 1A champs Grady, and they took care of business. You know, they excelled. I think the finals 44-0. So they did their thing. They showed off some of their top athletes. And Truman, they decided to go up to a good Section 1 team. They played Mamaroneck out of Westchester. Okay. And Mamaroneck, they're like a very big sports town. Like, I know they're very much known for hockey and lacrosse, and they have good athletes everywhere. Truman didn't win the game, but like they hung tough. I think the final, I want to say, was 27-8, but Siobhan Richardson's still there doing his thing. Super high on Shamor Brown. But then also there's two juniors, Ross Horn Joseph and John Cyr Batista, that both had a scoring play for Truman. Okay. So I'm excited to see what they have. And a game that I'm pumped for is Truman opens up with Madison.
Okay.
My God. We need eyes on that.
Another one.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Where I'm just like, all right, we're going to see like one of those teams is going to show like, hey, we're the winner of that game, or maybe even both teams, depending on how it goes, are like, all right, we're in this thing to win it in the 3A. Like, we could be title.
We need eyes on that somehow.
Or at least, like,
you know, if that's Saturday, is that Saturday or what day is that? If that's a Sunday, I'm going.
Hopefully it's a Saturday.
Yeah. I was about to say, if that's a Sunday, I'm going wherever it's at.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm booked on Saturday, but okay. That's a goodie.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. That one's at Madison.
That's a goodie. Okay. Somebody get me film on that or stats, please. My guy. Yeah.
Please update your stats this week, coaches.
John J.
John
J won, yeah.
They beat Campus Magnet. I'm pretty confident, right?
Yeah,
which is a good win. I'm sorry that we don't have so much to say on this, but again, we're kind of working on scraps. I even went to the John J Instagram hoping to find something, and I found nothing. So sorry that we can't really break this one down unless you guys have some notes on it.
No, I wish I did. I should have contacted them.
I was gonna say you could put Colton on the screen real quick though about Cardozo. I got something nice for them. I think. Well, depends on if you think this is nice or not. But listen, Cardozo has a beautiful chance at the start of the season because their schedule is so difficult to really make some noise.
Oh.
They start out
with the
they're
Sharks.
going
Yeah.
to the
Hold on,
Sharks.
hold on. Let me
This
I'll
week.
put it up. Hold on.
Yeah, put it up. Because their first 3 games, honestly, their first 4 games are pretty tough. And then you have some tougher teams afterwards.
Let me put this.
Let's take a look at Dozo's schedule.
Shark Tank week 1. Wow.
That's tough. I mean, that's going to be a tough place to play. That place is going to be buzzing. Considering what they just did in non-league, I'm sure they're going to want to rally the troops.
Shark Tank, then Madison, then Midwood. Wow, those first 3 games, that be key.
They're like, yo, let's put the 3 4A teams from last year all in a row after the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, that's tough. And even that John Jay game, my guy Dre said it was 57-27.
Damn.
What's going on with Campus Magnet, man? What the hell is going on?
I like Campus Magnet too, man. I like Campus Magnet. That's tough. 57-60
ball. That's crazy.
Nah, that's not right, man. Yo, Queens got to do better. Come on now. That's Campus Magnet. Shout out to my guys over there. I know a couple guys over there, but that's really shocking scoreline. But wow, this Cardozo schedule is no joke. And they have Truman on here. Yo,
yeah, bro.
Oh, like just watch the internet. Oh, I think you're back.
Picking up pointers from Mac, I see. Here we go. Where's Monkey in the chat?
Just exit and come back in. Just exit and come back in real quick. Just exit and come back in because E's internet is tripping.
That's funny.
So wow, that I'm really happy that you brought that up. I did not know that they had that tough of a schedule.
Yeah, but Colton, I'm excited. I'm excited for Dozo, man. You guys always got players, and you graduated some good seniors. But I'm excited to see what you guys got this year, man. And what better way to prove yourself than going against a team with a lot of hype right now within Sheepshead Bay? It's perfect. And that 57 piece, I don't know if we're gonna be saving John Jay for much longer.
Gave you guys your flowers,
We'll see. We'll see what I'm pumped that John Jay is doing some good things. They get Bayside week 1. Okay. That'll be good. That'll be interesting.
Nah, but I know the John Jay boys. They be the John Jay.
Is that Drayshaw on peak?
They be on my body. They be like, yo, talk about John Jay. This is the year. I got you. I'm paying attention now. But give me information, please. Post the scores, the roster, or something, because it's kind of hard to talk on a podcast when you don't have any of those things. Whoa, Monty. Whoa, you trying to start a war in here? You trying to start a war in here? Okay, I think I just heard E join back. Yeah, I think you're good now, E.
A big game for William Ford.
You're right, E. Let me see. Say something, E. Let me see if you're coming back any better.
Why keeps doing that? Hold on. How am I now?
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. It's gonna. I think it's good now. Yeah,
you're getting there. You're getting there.
Okay, good. Hopefully, I don't do it again.
Yeah, perfect timing. Because let's move on to the. Man, Jared, we're really back, man. We are really back because.
Ooh,
the Sage standout game of the week. The first preview. We're really back, baby. We're really back. The Sage standout game of the week 1.
Castle.
At the Castle, live and direct. Curtis versus Lincoln.
Oh man.
Listen, I'll throw it to Jared first. We didn't talk about Lincoln on the podcast yet. I know some Lincoln reps were in here earlier, but they took another loss this weekend. I'm pretty sure they played a tough team.
Yeah, Coatesville.
They played Coatesville.
They did, for sure.
And this week, you go from Stepinac, Coatesville. All right, let's talk about the PSAL season. All right, here's the defending champions on the road. So, Jared, how do you look at this one? Just your first thoughts.
Yeah, it's crazy. One thing I'll give Lincoln credit for is you get Curtis. Week 1 they scheduled 2 extremely tough teams for the non-league battles. You go to Stepinac, they're incredible, and then Coatesville. For the people that don't know, E put me on, like, they have a 5-star offensive line.
That kid was a problem.
5-star.
Wow. 5-star.
He is legitimately ranked as a top 10 prospect in the country. It's insane.
Tackle, yep.
So nuts. Anyways, they took some losses there, but they definitely learned a lot, and they're prepared to go to battle with PSAL teams. So I'm really excited to see it. But the one thing that this game that's going to be a little bit is honestly really the storyline is, can Lincoln's offense, actually produce against this incredible Curtis defense, man. This Curtis defense was all over the field these first 2 weeks, shutting out St. Peter's, really giving that good North Rockland team a hard time. It's going to be very interesting to see how Lincoln responds to Jalil Parnell, who has been a monster this year. He added, I think, another 6 tackle performance this past week. It's insane. And then, of course, Jarrett, and then, those linebackers, speed everywhere on this Curtis defense. So it'll be interesting to see what, Christian Borghi and Xaverian Alvarez can really do against this Curtis team. And let's see if Lincoln can, establish the run. There's a lot of good storylines there. But then you flip the field. I'm pumped to see this Lincoln defense, because now you got 2 weeks under your belt, right? If they put it together, they have athletes all over the field where this defense could be really good. They have the 2 weeks that they put together. Let's see if it comes together and they play really well. Because last season, let's not forget, Ron Jones and this Lincoln defense really gave Curtis a hard time. It was a very close game. Curtis was not really able to get much going. So I'm very interested in this one.
Yeah, real quick before I throw it to E, my guy K1 Live, this is a very good point. I didn't even realize that Lincoln kicks it off on the road 2 years in a row. That's mad crazy. E, your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, so I was speaking with Coach O'Connor before the Lincoln game against Coatesville, and he told me his exact words were, he know what happened in the step in that game. Obviously, we duck no smoke, and that was real good to hear from Coach OC, and it just shows that with the Coach OC is a proven winner. He's a champion. He knows what it takes to win. So it just shows me the mindset that he has going forward. But I feel like offensively, what's his name? Mackay. What's his name? Hold on. Sorry. Mackay Negron. He's a Canarsie transfer. They have to mix this kid in. Running the ball. He had a few nice runs against Coatesville, a few nice kick returns. I feel like he's the playmaker. He's a spark that they can use offensively. And he didn't start the game at running back. So I feel like they have to find a way to mix him in some more. Borey obviously has to play well, but the question is, like Jared mentioned, can the Lincoln offensive line just even buy Borey some time to make things work on the offensive side? So definitely a tough test for Lincoln, but let's see. We're gonna see what they're made of out the gate, So I'm excited to see this one for sure. Curtis, we already know what they're bringing to the table. We don't have to run down what Curtis is bringing to the table. With this game, I'm more interested to see how Lincoln responds on the offensive side of the ball, and what type of fight they're gonna put up. So can't wait to see this one for sure.
Yo, shout out to, first of all, shout out to my guy LJ. I should shout him out every single podcast at the beginning. Forgive me for that. But shot by LJ Lincoln Jacobs. He created all of these graphics. Well, he created the graphics for the Game of the Week series. So this is his work. I know, he's probably watching. So shout out my guy. You see, I like this. He's the energy. I like this.
He definitely showed some flashes against Tottenville. That he could get shifty, a nice burst. So I feel like they need to implement him more on the offensive side of the ball. Sorry, another kid that I didn't shout out, Francisco Ortiz Jr. He scored Lincoln's only touchdown that game. Borey hit him on a nice strike down the seam, and he ran it in for about 50 yards. But he caught every pass that came his way. He had about maybe 6 catches that game. Every ball that came his way was a catch. So I remember him from the 7-on-7s as well. So he been making plays. So for him to have that breakout game just showed me with Alvarez, and that's just another playmaker that Lincoln has, another receiver that can make plays for them. Borey also got hurt that game, so
you're kidding me.
Yeah, speedy recovery to Borey. It didn't look serious. It looked like a lower leg injury, but yeah, speedy recovery to Borey for sure. Because obviously Lincoln needs him. Yeah. He didn't play the second half, so he was limping around. He was limping around on the sideline. So hopefully he's fine and it's not anything serious, but that's very important. So we have to pay attention to that. And hopefully he's healthy and ready to go.
Okay, I'm happy you snuck that in before I was about to go on my what I was gonna say. So I guess I'll just go, and hopefully Christian plays. The gentleman on the left of the graphic, Christian Borhe, Ronaldinho Jones. I got to use the full government here. Y'all, if you want to be whoever you want to be, this is the night to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want to be whoever you want to be, and this goes for, I see Makai getting love in the chat. I love that. Always going to shout out. If you shout out a player, always going to put that up on the screen. Makai, if you want to be who you want to be, this is the stage. This is the night to do it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. I love this.
He's good.
Love this.
Perfect.
All right.
Nice.
I love to hear that. Love to hear that, because a backup quarterback going into the castle. Respect to what OC got.
Yeah, let me say one thing real quick, Andre, before you continue. Right, the backup quarterback, number 10. He looks like Corey Reese, and I'm not kidding.
No way.
No.
Is he tall? Is he like or like the way he plays?
Both. Like his body structure. And he actually stepped in, and I meant to tell you guys this too. He reminded me of Corey so much. But shout out to number 10, the backup who stepped in when Christian went down. I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, shout out to number 10. You're my new favorite player now. You're just like
that's funny.
But yeah, man, listen, if you like, especially Christian, listen, I spoke about this last week. This Curtis team, you guys can watch all the film you want. It is not a secret what Curtis wants to do. They play a 3-4. They might have 5 on the line. They might have 6 on the line. Then they might bring 7. They might bring 3. They might bring 5. It's, when you have that many people who are standing up, it's kind of difficult to see where the pressure is coming from. Christian, is going to be up to him to understand what your play call is, understand where the pressure is coming from. So this week in practice is so important for Lincoln, if you guys haven't done this already, to really have everything like the back of your hand, because once you get into the castle, once all that nonsense is happening in front of you, once Jared starts talking crazy to you and all that kind of stuff, it gets spooky real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can only imagine Jared at the bottom of the pile. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Jared be talking hot.
It's gonna be loud there
Yeah,
too, man. It's the
you know,
castle.
it gets spooky real quick. So you gotta really know your reads. You gotta know, you know, if you got double slants on the left and 2 go routes on the right. You know, if they bring in 7, you better look to the left. You know what I'm saying?
Get that thing off. Get that thing off.
Exactly. It gets tricky real quick. So, like I said, if you guys want to be who you want to be, you know, you want to be Division 1 player, Division 2 player, Division 3, whatever it is, this is the night to do it. Ron Jones, you know how we rate you on this show. You know, it's going to be big. You and Quadair Gomez got to know each other real well on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to lock that down. You got to be able to find out where number 5, Jaden Melendez, is. You got to see where, you know, what is happening around you. It's going to be really important for Ron Jones to really be a factor in this game. You know, of course, you know, we do the interviews after the game. And if it's a Lincoln victory, I don't see a way Christian and Ron are not in that interview.
Absolutely.
Along with somebody else.
Wow. Agreed.
Last thoughts on this one, guys?
Just
first quarter is going to matter a lot. Like a lot. Like take care of the ball. Like there's just, you know, I don't know. First PSAL game, it's just going to be really interesting. Like I know it's very cliche being like you got to start fast, but I don't know, man. First game, lots to prove for Lincoln at least, and then Curtis looking to establish themselves once again, even though they kind of already have this season. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm just super pumped for those first, you know, couple drives, man. This is going to be a special game.
Yes. And we will be there, man. We will be there. I will be on the commentary. So, you know, I'll definitely have a lot to say on Monday. This is the full game of the week schedule. I said it would be a short show, but Jared and E wanted to make sure they shouted everybody out.
It's only right.
Respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
It's only right.
And speaking of that, you know, if you're still in the chat, if you decide to post highlights on your story, like feel free to tag me, send it to us. Like feel free, man. We love this stuff. We'll watch it, and then if we're doing, you know, quick shout outs and stuff like that, or just talking on the show, who knows, we can bring it up. It'd be great.
Listen,
man.
Let's shout out one more school while we at it, right? Shout out to Kennedy for getting
yes.
Oh
my God.
Kennedy for getting that W. Derek Batan says 3 TDs. I always say his name wrong. Hamadou Faseru, number 4, another 3 TDs. So, you know, shout out to Kennedy getting that running game going, picking up a big W against Mount Vernon. Shout out to the Knights.
Yeah, and I love that you say that too, because I probably should have said this when there was more people here. Yeah, like if you guys like, you know, I understand clip culture or whatever. You guys clip up the Sage Media content. If you guys clip up anything from E, from Jared, from the podcast, please just tag us so we can at least share it, so we know how our content is being used.
Absolutely.
You know, shout out to E. He had his first voiceover. I think was it Kyle Charles? No, it was.
It was. No.
Was it Kyle? It was
no. Number 9.
Oh, Curtis.
Oh, it was number 9. Yeah.
What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. I know.
He could be mad at us now.
So I know in like 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, his name is gonna be stuck on my brain. I know it already. Because he's gonna make so many plays. But
it's funny because like I know everyone's like Instagram. Like I literally know what his Instagram is, but he doesn't have his name on his Instagram. So
hold on.
Charles Simmons, that's his name.
Charles Simmons.
It just came back to me.
Charles Simmons, man. Charles Simmons, yes. And like we mentioned, he's gonna have a big year. We trust me, we're gonna remember your name in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be no forgetting it in a couple of weeks. I know it.
Yeah, man. So this is the full game of the week schedule. First game is Curtis versus Lincoln. Cannot wait for that. And just as a reminder, you know, our member only game, which is going to be on Saturday, is going to be Tottenville versus South Shore. And I know I don't have a graphic for it, but of course you guys know that we will be doing all of Eagle Academy's games. Eagle is probably a hot ticket, so I'm sure there's going to be people tuning into that. Eagle Academy opens up their PSAL play with Fort Hamilton. So, you go from Eagle Fort Hamilton, you come right over, same YouTube channel, to Curtis Lincoln. You go to sleep, you wake up, you come right back, and it's Tottenville, South Shore. So
just pay that $7, everybody. Come on, man. Just pay that $7, man. Come on now. We $7 is a sandwich from Ock, man. Come on, man. It's cheap. It's cheaper than that. Doesn't matter. But
I was gonna say
a little $7, man. Come on.
Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Always so much engagement in the chat. It really makes the show so much fun. Jerry, last words for the night.
Good show. I mean, yeah, like you just said, Dre. Always love the activity in the chat, man. It's awesome, and it's gonna be fun. I can't wait for next week because all PSAL games, man. Yeah, good luck, everybody. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, listen, man. Like I said at the start, no more negative week 0. No more week 0.
Yes, sir.
We here now, and it's the best time of the year. So good luck to all the student athletes. Stay healthy, and can't wait to see you guys, man.
Coaches.
Yes.
Please post your stats.
Yes. Come on.
Please.
Come on.
Please post the stats.
I'm begging you. Put in the box.
Shout out to the schools who are active on Instagram and who actually make posts like that. With the scores and with the athletes who performed. Shout out to those schools. But yes, please post the stats.
Please. Guys, we're going to call it a night. Salute to everybody.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Yes, sir.
We're in the thick of it now. So can't